you walk out of the interview feeling unstoppable. You nailed every question. The hiring manager was nodding, smiling. You sure you got the job? But then, silence. Days turn into weeks, no callbacks, no offer. Bob knows exactly how that feels. After a perfect interview, he thought he had it all in the bag until he checked his inbox and saw nothing but rejection. The shocking part? He made one simple mistake that cost him the job, something most candidates don't even realize they're doing. And Bob isn't alone. Thousands of candidates assume the hiring managers will remember them without a follow-up. But here's the reality. Hiring managers don't just remember the best interview, they remember the most persistent candidate. Today we're answering the 6 most trending questions about post-interview follow-ups, including the #1 mistake that cost Bob the job and could cost you yours if you're not careful.
What should I include in a follow-up email after an interview?
Mission debriefs are just as critical as the mission itself. The same applies to job interviews. According to Robert Half, one of the world's largest talent solutions and staffing firms, 80% of hiring managers find follow-up emails helpful, yet only 24% say it significantly impacts their decision.
Does a follow-up email really make a difference in getting hired?
So, does it even matter? It depends on the industry. Sales, marketing, consulting, follow-ups show persistence and professionalism. Tech and engineering, hiring is skill-based, so follow-ups have less influence. Healthcare and government, qualifications drive hiring decisions.
How long should I wait to send a follow-up email after an interview?
Right after the interview, same day. Conduct an after-action report. Write down key points from the interview while they're still fresh. Secure the comms. Connect with your interviewer on LinkedIn, if possible. Within 24 hours is the primary follow-up mission. Send a precision strike thank you email. Reiterate your interest in the role and reference specific mission critical details from the interview. Address any concerns or follow up on a question you wish you had answered better. Secondary check-in mission.
What should I do if I don't hear back after my follow-up email?
If radio silence persists, send a brief professional recon message. Express continued interest and inquire about the hiring timeline. Then there's the final follow-up 10 to 14 days later. If no response, send one last follow-up before moving on. Keep other mission objectives in play. Keep applying for new roles.
Who should I be following up with, the recruiter or the hiring manager?
Remember Bob? The mistake that cost him the job. He did follow up, but he followed up with the wrong person. Like most candidates, Bob assumed the recruiter was the key decision maker. But here's the truth. Recruiters don't make the final decision here. They're the gatekeepers, not the ones choosing who gets hired. Bob never asked for direct contact information from the hiring manager, the person who actually had the power to say you're hired. By the time he realized his mistake, the decision had already been made and he was left wondering what went wrong.
How can I follow up after an interview without sounding too pushy?
1. Before you leave the interview, lock in your follow-up strategy. Ask the key questions before you walk out. Before I go, what's the best way to stay in touch regarding next steps? Should I follow up with you directly, or will I be hearing back from you? 2 is to get their contact information. If the hiring manager was in the interview, ask for their business card or write down their email when they introduce themselves. If they don't hand out cards, check LinkedIn and connect with them after the interview, if appropriate. If all else fails, ask the recruiter, would it be okay to follow up with the hiring manager directly? Send the right follow-up emails to the right people. You could send the recruiter follow-up email thanking them for coordinating, but keep it brief. Hiring manager follow-up. This is your main follow-up. Highlight your enthusiasm, reference something specific from the interview, and reinforce how you can add value. 4, the power move, a value-add follow-up. If the hiring manager mentioned a challenge or project they're working on, send a quick article, resource, or insight that relates to it. This keeps you top of mind and shows that you're already thinking like someone on the team. Bob learned the hard way. The interviews don't end when you leave the room, but what happens inside the interview, that matters even more. Because here's the truth. Most job seekers have no idea what hiring managers are really thinking. What they say to you in the interview That's not always what they're actually thinking behind the scenes. In my next briefing, I'll break down the 6 most trending interview questions and expose the #1 mistake that instantly kills your chances. Trust me, you won't believe what's really going on in those hiring discussions. Your next mission starts right here.